Hello everyone, this is Fuzz with Fuzz, and welcome back. Oh my gosh, my air signs. You know, I'm so excited that we've gotten this far. Aquarius, twin, where have you been? Anyways, we're not going that far. You already know what it is, and if you don't know what it is, and thank you here for coming for your first time, etc., etc., etc. Um, we're gonna be telling you about what's going to be the good, what is going to be the challenging, and what to watch out for the month of May 2025. This, of course, is timeless. Sun, moon, rising, wherever else you might have it could be relevant to those areas in your life. But just as an overall general vibe, sun, moon, rising might benefit from this just a little bit more. Um, yeah. Oh my gosh. Let me know if you want me to do more of these, and I would be happy to do so. As you can see, I got a nice little bow going on here for you. I don't know. Even though I guess I could see how it looks unbalanced, I kind of don't mind this look. Earlier, before literally starting the recording, I had a black bow on. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do like a half and half situation. You see, we got a little purple going on and a lip that kind of doesn't match, but I still think it looks good. I'm gonna leave you at that. Let's just go on ahead and get to shuffling. I'm gonna mug you a little bit while we do that, and let's get into it. Aquarius, my peoples. Oh, and then also, I will be telling you about love, you know, in a brief sense for my singles and those in relationships. And of course, there will be an extended for you to go on and learn some more if you would like to do so. So, y'all not sure about what's going on. That's what it seems like. Challenging. We doing things a little bit different. But you know, I guess that is the style of my water bearing brothers and sisters. Okay, so starting off with the good going on for you during this period of time. The Three of Wands, um, and clarified by the Queen of Swords, Six of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. You came into your own reading. And the challenging, the Strength, Ace of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Four of Wands. I'm just gonna, you know. Did you see that? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay, and what to watch out for? Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords. And of course the overall Ace of Cups. Ten of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, the Page of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Moon, and the Two of Swords. And I guess I'll pull right now for your love cards, the themes of your love lives during this period of time. But I will read to you what they are and what they mean. You know, after we talk about your general predictions. So, singles, relationships, committed. Okay, y'all. So, it seems like for the good for you during this period of time is that you're opening yourself up for some of you to new possibilities, new opportunities that you have not considered before. It's not that they weren't really available or that you didn't know that they exist, but it seems like you might just not have considered those options before. You know, some of you could be the type of person that you know what you want or you have an idea for your vision, but maybe getting that to translate exactly to being what you want it to be is kind of crazy. So, or crazy. It just doesn't always maybe work out. So, for example, maybe there's a very particular hyper specific way that you would like to help people, if you know you want to help people in a way like for a career wise situation. But the way you want to help people, either you would have to feel like you're reinventing the wheel, or you'd have to start your own organization, or it's just not something that really pays well, or it's like the fields in which you thought you could go in to help people in that sense, um, they they didn't turn out to be what you thought they were going to be in reality, right? For some of you, you could just be feeling pretty personally happy during this period of time. You're feeling pretty connected to yourself. You feel like your environment and things are maybe flowing the way you would like them to flow. You could be finding yourself looking back on a lot of fond memories. And For even some of you, maybe your means of nostalgia could be what is bringing opportunities to your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be always related to career, but of course, with the world we live in, some of us are concerned about what's going on with that cheese. So, for your challenging aspects during this period of time, it seems like some of you could just be looking at, you're taking inventory of what your life has going on right now, and you're really trying to think all of the efforts and the things that I have put in right now up to this point. Does it make sense? Am I going in the right, direction? Am I having any sort of mobility upward in whatever places you might desire to have some mobility? Maybe it's socioeconomic, maybe it's in the workplace, or maybe it's feeling like, have I achieved some of the goals in life that I find, that I want to, like, the, I don't know, partner, check. Good job, check. Nice place to live, check. Or, am I living in this place that did I get to travel? Taking things off your bucket list, etc., right? So it seems like you might find yourself realizing, dang, I've done something similar to these, or I'm in this direction, but something is still like missing, right? Or maybe not missing, but it's like, wow, I went in a direction, but nowhere near the direction that I actually wanted to go or where I wanted to be. So, what you need to watch out for, and this doesn't necessarily have to have a negative or inherently positive context. It seems like, you know, I ain't gonna call you the butcher, but you have a tendency to trim the fat. And the problem is that, you can have 100% lean meat, left in your, I don't know, proverbial chuck roast or whatever, or in your ground beef blend. But fat also adds flavor in that sense. So you're trimming a lot, and you might be left with something that's kind of tough to chew, gamey, and doesn't hold a lot of flavor, or is missing. Like, you'll be asking yourself, oh wow, something's missing after you've cut this, cut that, cut this person off, quit this job, went to the next one, or stop doing this, stop doing that, or you're really into your regiment, you're really into your routine, but how much of this balance is also benefiting you besides the ways that you're supposed to. So I would also say, be careful with how you're treating your feelings at this time. It's not always a 2 + 2 is 4 type situation, but some of you could really be in that mode because you're doing what you need to do, you're being strict the way you're supposed to, but I think you need to make sure you're striking a chord with balance in that sense. And this this might go for me too. It seems like also for some of you, what's this, 6 of Swords? Or excuse me, 8 of Swords. Some of you could be having some trouble in paradise as it relates to some of your relationships. They don't necessarily have to be romantic, but you could just find yourself like, I wonder if some of you are having a little bit of fussiness with what's going on in your life. because of other circumstances, and that could be causing you to take that into your relationships and not realize that. So I would say that that's for some of you to definitely take a look out and be aware of. Yeah, see, I'm just seeing it on both sides. Like, some of you need to make sure that you're not taking all of your grievances and taking them out on your relationships, especially those in marriages right now. So, but either way, Aquarius, this don't look too bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're doing great, but balance, balance, baby. Um, yeah. If anything strikes me, we'll come back to this. But let's talk about your love situations, my singles, and those in relationships. So, oh, so my singles, which was really funny because I only felt one card come out, but there happens to be two cards: the Chaser and Heart with a Key. So, welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together and perfect. The chaser in a codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issue. For those who are in a relationship, wedding rings. So, union, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, and everlasting promise. So for those in a relationship, or excuse me, let's start with singles. Singles. It seems like there's two groups here, of course, apparently, but some of you could also just be in a weird situation where finally something good or whatever subjectively or actually good seems to come in, and you're constantly kind of chasing tail with love. Like, whenever you're sat down and you're ready to go, it feels like nothing is happening and it's all a mess. And then when you're literally running away and you're making it clear your intentions that you don't want romance, is when all of a sudden everybody and their mother is walking around with an engagement ring trying to lock you down and let you know, huh, ooh, spooky, kids, marriage, a mortgage, you have to be with me forever, and you're like, like, scared for your life. Yikes. Of course, it doesn't necessarily have to do with abandonment issues, but you know, with this dysfunction that seems to be appearing, I would say you gotta either just, you don't even have to sit down to find the right one or to find that love, but you know, you I don't know, man. You just gotta know that you are in control of your behavior, and choosing to be fussy ain't gonna make it easier on you in that sense. So, you know, it's hard to sit down and sit on one spot and say, okay, I'm gonna give it this try, but I would say you just have to work on that function, that system. So if you're the type that, I'm gonna sit down and give dating a try for a year, and if nothing happens, I'll be single forever. Can't do that. Or maybe you should revise in that sense. You know, it's not necessarily like you're intentionally dating, you know, with the purpose to be like, well, yeah, see, sorry, I tried that and it didn't work out. And if so, dang, you know what I'm saying? Come on, twin. You got to do better. So I would say you got to realize also where some of the issues maybe lie within yourself, in your dysfunction, that kind of cause you to just have these tumultuous romantic relations that even get in the way of you kind of crossing over from singledom to even being open maybe to talking to people. Anyways, those are relationships. Of course, the wedding rings. You know, if you haven't already, because this feels like some of you have recently maybe taken the next step in your relationship into maybe long-term partnership. So congratulations to you, and if you who are, you know, in one, now might be a pretty decent time for you to plant those seeds to do so. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to go to a courthouse, you have to do all the traditional whatever things, traditional, heterosexual, etc. Oh my gosh, wouldn't you y'all are sneaky. I barely slid my fingers together and realized a second card for you too, those who's in relationships, not enough. Frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear issues, and jealousy. So, for the other half of you, you know, who maybe aren't all in on wedding rings, I think you ought to. Didn't I just tell you try not to take your issues out on your relationship? You know, you might just need to go get a therapist, or go get a hug. Jokey jokes aside, there are some things that need to be worked on or hashed out here, especially if these two cards mix together for you. You're gonna have to go do some things to go dig some stuff up to understand it, and realize that maybe your relationship does not maybe have to be the first target for what's going on. But anyways, wow, we have a whole lot going on here. I'm gonna leave it at that. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Does this resonate with you? And if this is where I leave you, go watch your moon and your rising sign, if not your sun, which should have been watched already. I see you. That's all that I got for you. Follow me over to the extended if you would like to. If you can't get down with the get down, don't get down with us. Bye.